How's it going, YouTube? Dr. V here today. I'm bringing you the draft analysis of our WPF draft. Alright, so I'm actually really happy with how this draft turned out. I got a really versatile team. There's definitely a couple weaknesses, a couple places that I could have done better when drafting, but overall I think we picked a really solid team and have a good chance to go far in this league, so we'll see what happens with it. Alright, so our first pick you can see on the screen, we've decided to franchise Clefable. Clefable was, in my opinion, it's one of the better fairy types, especially in this format. Just its two abilities of Magic Guard and Unaware make it it's really useful. If your opponent has already set up Stealth Rock, Spikes, bunch of different hazards that they can set up, mainly being Toxic Spikes for the other one. I don't know why I just said that, but yeah, Magic Guard ignores them completely, and Clefable's not a weak hitter. It can hit other teams pretty difficult and make things difficult for other teams, so I'm really happy with it. And I don't think it was a bad idea to franchise it, so especially if it's when I'm using the Unaware Clefable, it just ignores when people set up, and setups can be really potentially sweeps for other teams, so I decided that I needed a good Unaware Pokemon, and Clefable fit the bill. It cost me quite a bit of points in the draft, and I definitely could have used them at different points, but you know, I don't regret this choice at all. Alright, so for my next pick, I actually got sniped 2 picks before I chose, so I had to end up going with Jirachi. Originally I wanted to get Weavile. It seemed to fit Clefable pretty well. Opponents trying to set up, just knock off their item with Weavile, obviously, and then if they do manage to set up, I'll just send in Clefable afterwards, ignore their setup, and then go from there and see what we can do to beat them down. But I ended up going with Jirachi. It's a base 100 Pokemon all around, and it has a large moveset pool, and its ability Serene Grace is pretty much Scarf, Rachi, Iron Head everything to death. And if you have good luck, you'll flinch them all. If not, then Jirachi might go down, but he's also a potential hazard user. He can set up Stealth Rocks, he can paralyze other opponents, so. And biggest thing why I chose Jirachi is it's Steel and Psychic. Steel type resists. It resists poison, which is a big thing against fairy types, and it's also resistant to Steel type, obviously. So that's something that I really needed. Alright, so for my next pick, I decided to go with Mega Pinsir. Alright, we went with Mega Pinsir for... Basically, I was debating between 2 Megas. It was Mega Pinsir or Mega Gardevoir. And since I already had a Fairy type, I decided to go with Mega Pinsir. I've used one a couple times in competitive battles, and I've never really thought it lives up to its full potential in just regular tiered battles. There's lots of things that could take it out, but in this type of league, if you get past the opponent's walls, then Mega Pinsir has the potential to be a wall breaker, and it also has quick attack for priority, so that was a really good plus for it. And its attack of 155 is just ridiculous, so if you set up Sword Stance with Pinsir, then it's pretty much GG for the entire match, unless they have something that can outspeed it and out and take it down in a hit. So, but its 120 defense is nothing to laugh at. So that was why I chose Mega Pinsir. Alright, so for my next pick, I decided I needed something that resisted fire, which both Pinsir and Jirachi were weak to, so I went with Milotic. Yeah, Milotic is a really common pick, but there's a reason for that, and it's because it's really good to use, especially in this type of format. It's a bulky water type, it has decent special attack, and if you get a +1 or +2 Milotic off, then it's with competitive charm, then I mean, oh my god, I'm messing everything up. If you get a competitive Milotic going and you get the special attack boost, it can really deal some damage. And also it can take a hit from most things, and if your opponent has it set up, you can go in, you can haze or dragon tail, and then they'll remove that threat from the field for that moment at least. So that's why I chose Milotic. My next pick. I apologize, I'm still really sick, so I'm not in the best of places right now to be recording, but I wanted to get this video out before I went on vacation. So my next pick was Jolteon. It was really quick to choose Jolteon, but the reason for that is that I didn't want anyone else to take it, just because it's so quick and so strong on the special side. I decided I'm gonna take it this round because I need something like Jolteon to get us through, pretty much. Like if I can absorb all the Thunderbolts and Volt switches, it's a really good thing, especially if I'm using Milotic and Pinsir in the same team. Then Jolteon is a good Pokemon to bring around. It'll handle all the electric types for those two have weaknesses to, and allow them to stay in the game longer. So that's why I decided to go with Jolteon for this pick, even though it was a really early pick to use on it, but I'm not regretting it one bit. My next pick. I was actually really surprised that this pick was still on the board at this point. I would have thought that someone took it way before this, but no one did, so I decided to take Scizor. Now, the reason for... Originally, my original thought was I'm gonna draft some more lower tiered Pokemon that I want, and I'm going to base a team off of them, but Scizor is just too good to pass up. Technician, it raises bullet punches, and it actually also gets access to Defog, which I really needed a Defogger since I had nothing to remove hazards at this point, so Scizor seemed like something that could take a hit and then remove any hazards on the field. I'm not very fond of setting up hazards myself, but if they're on the field, then I figured something needed to be there to take them out. Alright, next pick. At this point I have a pretty decent fire weakness. I have a defense in Milotic, but apart from that, I have nothing that really resists fire, so I decided to go with Zygarde. Zygarde's it's a really decent Pokemon, actually. I don't know why it doesn't get used more often. But the Dragon and Ground combination is actually a good combination in my opinion, especially for a team like mine. It can really do some damage and take care of some common Pokemon that might be used against my team. And another big plus on Zygarde is extreme speed. So it out-prioritizes anything else that can be thrown at you, and it's just if you Choice Band it or Life Orb it, or even if you get a Dragon Dance off of Zygarde, its base attack is 100, so it's not going to be a weak hit from Zygarde by any means. So that's why I chose Zygarde. My next pick. I really had no specific reason for choosing Empoleon. Its abilities are pretty decent, Defiant and Torrent. I don't know if I'm going to be using an physical attacking Empoleon anytime soon. Doesn't really seem like anything to go, but my main reason for this was that it can set up Stealth Rock and Defog, meaning I can have other places open for Scizor or have Jirachi not have to have Stealth Rock. So I decided that this was a good pick, especially with how low in the draft I was. I was drafting 13th, so I didn't have the best pick numbers to pick every other round, but I still got things that I really wanted. My next pick. I decided I really needed a strong defensive wall, and looking at the typing that I needed, I decided to go with Weezing. Weezing's defense is just ridiculous, and if you have ever faced a Weezing, then you know how it can be really difficult to deal with. It's actually really hard for me not to swear when I'm recording these videos. I swear a lot my normal days, so I might end up swearing in some of my videos. I'm not promising that the channel will be PG or anything by any means. I actually have a really interesting series that I might be doing at some point. It's going to be a drinking game with Pokemon battles, so keep an eye out for that definitely. It could be potentially very fun or very funny, depending on how it goes, but we'll see. Keep an eye out. That's not important right now. Alright, my next pick. I still did not have anything that was immune to fire, so I decided to go with one of my own personal favorites, Typhlosion. It has good special attack and good speed. Choice Scarf it'll outspeed a decent amount of things, but it's not the best fire type available, but the ones I wanted were either too high up at this point, and I didn't have enough points to take them, or they had already been taken. Like Delphox. I really wanted to draft Delphox, and then it got taken the same round that I had to take Typhlosion. So I decided to just go with whatever I could get at this point. And Typhlosion. I really like Typhlosion. It's just been one of my favorite Pokemon ever since it got created, so I'm really looking forward to using it this season. And that's really all the reasoning I had behind Typhlosion. Now, my second to last pick, I should say, Dugtrio. The reason I chose Dugtrio is only for Arena Trap and its speed. Throw Choice Scarf on it, and with Arena Trap, Earthquake things to death, Stone Edge them to death. Different options that you have that it can use. Has a bunch of different attacks, so it's a good Pokemon to use, especially if it's a late game type of issue where I just need something to come in and sweep, prevent my opponent from switching out. Dugtrio is one of the better late game sweepers, especially with Sucker Punch, so that's why I went with that. And then my last pick was Primeape. The reason I went with Primeape is I didn't really have a good fighting type outside of... Actually, no, I didn't have a fighting type at this point at all, so I decided to go with Primeape. Has good attack, good speed, and it learns a variety of different moves. And it can also actually learn Poison Jab, which I found out recently, which can help with bulky Pokemon such as Florges that are more specially defensive rather than physically defensive. So I decided it would be a good idea to take something that can dish out strong hits on those Pokemon, and Primate decided to fit the bill. You can see from my drafting that I don't have the bulkiest of drafts, but I do have pretty good balance overall, I feel, and we'll see how this season goes. I'm really excited for it, and I think that we can really do well, so hopefully we'll represent Colorado well as the Colorado Rapidashes, and we'll do our best to keep on winning. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button down below, or if not, hit the dislike button. Let me know your feedback. I'm here to get better at this. Thank you for watching. See you next time.